My dad kidnapped a fox to spend the night with him, just to carry on the family line. But the fox turned into a beautiful woman after just one night. My dad got so scared that he knelt down and begged for mercy, but the woman wasn't angry at all. Instead, she asked to do this every single day and night. That's how my fox mother gave birth to me after 10 months of pregnancy. Years later, when I went up the mountain to chop firewood, I saw a giant python coiling tightly around a little fox, and I didn't hesitate. I threw my wood chopping knife right at the python's head. The python struggled a few times and then died. The little fox survived the python but was badly hurt. I quickly carried her home and treated her wounds with herbs. She could run and jump again just a few days later. From then on, the little fox refused to leave my home. But I was an orphan with no parents and could barely feed myself. I tried to send her back to the woods several times, but she always came back to my door at night. She either carried wild fruits or hares and pheasants in her mouth. That's when I realized what the little fox was trying to tell me. She could take care of herself and didn't need me to feed her, so I finally let her stay. The little fox stayed by my side from then on. She suddenly left when I turned 18. I waited until dark and she didn't come back just as I was about to go look for her. An old woman came to my door leaning on a cane. She looked kind and said, "Young man, I'm looking for my granddaughter. Have you seen her?" My heart skipped a beat. No one had come from outside the village lately. "Which granddaughter is yours?" the old woman coughed softly. She stared at me and said I left home a few years ago and asked my granddaughter to watch the house. But she was gone when I came back. Someone said she's living with you. I froze in shock. I was the only one living in my house. I replied politely, "You must be mistaken." The old woman nodded but stared hard at my kitchen. I turned around and saw the little fox squatting there. She wagged her tail at the old woman and seemed to be smiling. The old woman said nothing when she saw the little fox and turned to leave. That night, the little fox slept on my stomach as usual when I woke up the next day. The little fox was gone again. I just got out of bed. I saw a red baby bib on the table with a lock of hair inside. It was wrapped with red paper. I had no idea what it was for. I took it to the village chief when he saw it. He laughed and said, "Wow, a girl is showing her affection for you. Take this and go propose to her. Tell Grandpa which girl gave it to you." I froze on the spot. Could it have been the little fox who brought it to me? But I never expected the little fox never showed up again after that day. I felt empty inside after she left. I did nothing but eat, sleep, and look for her all over the mountains every day. I found no trace of her after searching for more than half a month. I still couldn't find the little fox, and I was desperate. I thought I'd never see her again until one night half a month later. An old woman squatted at my door crying. I asked her what was wrong. The old woman looked up sharply when she heard me and spoke in a hoarse voice. "I'm looking for my grandson. My grandson is missing. Have you seen him, right?" I shuddered when I heard her. She looked for her granddaughter last time and now her grandson. Why do they all come to my house? I quickly said I hadn't seen her grandson, but the old woman looked confused. "You haven't seen him, what about 6 years ago?" "Did you see my grandson 6 years ago?" she asked me in an accusatory tone. I thought hard for a long time but had no clue at all. "Mom, you've got the wrong person. I really haven't seen your grandson." The old woman stopped talking when I said that. But she gave me a creepy smile. I stepped back in fear. I stumbled to the village chief's house and told him what happened. The village chief froze, immediately pointed behind me and said, "Is that the one you were talking about?" I felt a chill down my spine. I turned around shakily and saw the old woman standing silently behind me. I hid behind the village chief in fear. He looked her up and down. "Which village are you from? It's not right to scare a kid at night," the old woman said in a low voice. "I'm looking for my grandson." She said nothing no matter how the village chief asked her. She just smiled creepily, so the village chief took 2 eggs from his house and gave them to her. "Take these and get out. Don't scare people on my land anymore." But the old woman just glanced at them and smashed the eggs on the ground. Then she pointed at me and shouted hoarsely, "She killed my grandson. I will haunt her forever." The village chief's face changed drastically. He told me to turn on the yard light right away. I quickly flipped the switch. The front door lit up instantly and I saw clearly. A red, venomous snake coiled on the old woman's shoulder bearing its 2 fangs. It stared at me fiercely. The village chief panicked at once. He whispered to me quickly, "My boy, my eyes are bad. Check if that old woman has no shadow." I turned around sharply when I heard that. The old woman stood straight under the light and really had no shadow. I broke out in a cold sweat and was too scared to speak. I just nodded stiffly. The village chief suddenly shouted loudly, "Don't be afraid, my boy. There's an ancestral sword in Grandpa's room. Go get it for me right away." I stumbled into the room. I searched for a long time but found no sword at all. When I came out to say I couldn't find it, the old woman was already gone. The village chief pulled me into the house in panic and closed the door tightly. "There is no sword at all," I lied to her. "You've messed with something evil." The village chief turned off the house light. He asked me if I had offended anyone I thought for a long time. I had never hurt anyone in my life. "Did you kill something you shouldn't have?" I suddenly remembered I killed a white snake 6 years ago to save the little fox. I told the village chief about it. He trembled all over, "You unlucky kid. You can't kill things on the mountain randomly." The village chief said he'd take me to a shaman tomorrow. He told me to sleep in his room tonight and not answer no matter who called. I kept his words in mind and didn't dare say a word. But a strange noise came from outside in the middle of the night. Then I heard the old woman sobbing. I looked out the window. A hunched figure was walking outside the window. She suddenly pressed against the window as if looking for me. I was too scared to move. Then the village chief's voice came from next door. "Cover your head with the quilt, don't look." I quickly wrapped myself up tightly. My heart was pounding, but the sobbing didn't stop. It came and went until after 3 in the morning. The crying outside finally stopped, but I still didn't dare come out from under the quilt. I fell asleep slowly after a long time. I saw a white snake in my dream. It stared at me fiercely. It spoke like a human, "Give me back my life." I woke up from the nightmare and sat up sharply. It was bright outside the window. The village chief was standing by the bed. He told me to get up quickly and take me to a shaman in the next village. But the crazy old woman came back that night. I was tortured into a daze. I burned incense paper money and knelt to beg for mercy. I tried everything, but nothing worked. Even scarier when I woke up the next day. I was lying under a big tree in the mountain, the exact place I killed the white snake. I stayed at the village chief's house for 3 days and tried every method. I couldn't bear to get the village chief into trouble, so I ran home quietly on the 4th morning. I just got to my door when unexpectedly. The village chief ran up panting, "Silly boy, how could Grandpa let you die? Let's go no matter what. I will fix this for you, my boy. I won't keep it from you any longer. The Liu clan is haunting you for your life if you want to live. There's only one way. What Liu clan? No one in our village has that last name. There are 5 immortal clans in our mountain. Fox, weasel, snake, willow rat, the snake you killed, and the one haunting you now are from the Liu clan. The little fox you saved back then is probably from the Hu clan. We can only ask the Hu clan for help. Is there no other way, Grandpa? Humans and spirits shouldn't mix. I didn't want you to take this path. But we've run out of options." The village chief pointed to my chest. "Do you still have that red bib?" I took it out with shaking hands. "Hold it tight. This is a token from a girl of the Hu clan. Only with it can you find the Hu clan." As soon as he finished speaking, a dense rustling sound came from the yard. The village chief's face changed drastically. He grabbed the wood chopping knife next to him. We just got to the main room. A terrifying sight appeared. The old woman was standing eerily at the crossroads. My head buzzed and my legs went weak with fear. I instinctively stepped back, tears welling up in my eyes. The village chief blocked the door with a table, shouted at me. "Listen to me, my boy, let the Hu clan step in. Only then can our village be saved. Take the token and run to the mass grave in South Mountain. No matter what you hear, never..."